You are listening to And That's Okay, the podcast devoted to encouraging you to live in your truth in a society where reality is not what's socially popular. This is a platform where you could be a novice about anything and feel comfortable about it. Let's have the conversations we all wish we had years ago and want to hear more of. Nothing is off limits and there is no shame or judgment here. Join me as I navigate life, marriage, friendships, finances, career, and whatever else life throws at me. Listen, doing all this self-work is bound to piss a few people off, and that's okay. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Angelique Royale. Let's get into it. Let me tell y'all something. Time is flying. Like, literally, it's acting like it got somewhere to be tomorrow, or is running late to work and he was supposed to be to work at 8 o'clock and it's 8:30. Like, I don't understand. Why does it seem like time is literally just flying by? And I'm starting to understand that I need to control the 24 hours, basically be in the present and worry about today. I can't worry about tomorrow and I can't worry about yesterday. I have to worry about today. And I've noticed that a lot of my anxiety comes from forward thinking of like, well, what if this happened? Or thinking of negative things that can happen. And it's basically just thinking of all the things that can go wrong instead of what can go right now. You know, like we're always forward thinking and trying to predict the future. And it's just like what you have in your head may not be nowhere near what's about to happen. Nowhere near. Like we make up stories and everything in our heads. And it's like we stress ourselves out. We stress ourselves out. Literally, I know I do. I don't know about y'all, but I stress myself out. And I have been learning through therapy how to manage that because I don't want to be stressed. Like, ultimate goal is to have peace. I don't want to be stressed. So what I do is I think about today. Yes, we plan for future dates coming up, doctor's appointments, parties, birthdays, anniversaries, work. That's later. We need to focus on what we can do today because we only have control of today. Yesterday is in the past. Tomorrow's the future. Today is the present. So why not focus on this 24 hours? You wake up in the morning, you can immediately set the tone for the day and then just go about your day, taking it as things come your way. Then it's like sometimes bad things happen. And we allow it to ruin us for the entire day. And some things are just small where they need to only just be 5 minutes. Be sad about it. Think about it. Process your feelings. And keep pushing. Because it's like, it's not the end of the world. And it's like, how much energy are you putting into actually being mad at this? When it's not tomorrow, you're not even going to care. Like, if the day goes by, you're going to forget about it. You're going to easily forget about it. And one of the things that I realized that we have no control over time. We will all want time indefinitely if we had the choice. But we don't. And a lot of things take up our focus. A lot of things pass time. And a lot of times we do things to pass time. And right now, in this day and age with technology, time goes super fast now. Like, I can really be on social media and pass by a couple hours just scrolling, looking at stuff. Or I could go research something and fall down a rabbit hole in 2 hours and pass. And I was like, wait, what? It just goes so fast without even us paying attention or realizing it. And a few weeks ago, I was at work and I was on lunch. And usually on my lunch, I sit away from my desk because I'm like, let me get away from my desk for an hour. But I was still on my phone. And I was sitting by myself, quiet, on my phone. And I was just like, you know what? Let me have lunch with myself. Let me not have lunch with social media. Let me have lunch with myself. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put the phone down. and I'm gonna just eat my lunch. Or what am I eating? I'm eating this salad. It's delicious. It's like Taco Tuesday, so it's like this Mexican salad with tortillas and chipotle sauce on it. It was delicious. And at one point, I got bored. I was like, okay, is it time to go back to work yet? And I just sat there, and that second portion of my break, because it was like 30 minutes had already passed when I realized, like, I need to take a minute and just finish lunch with myself. And I'm like, okay, it should be time to go back. And I looked, and I was like, I still got like 15 minutes. And I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do for 15 minutes? So where I was sitting at, there was a mirror. So I was staring at the mirror, staring at myself, sitting there. And I just was like, oh my God, if we want to slow down time, we need to be present. We need to be present. It won't buy us more time, but it will allow us to appreciate the moments and take things a little bit more serious because we were physically there. Mentally there. Not even physically, mentally there. A lot of things we go through, we're physically there, but we're not mentally there because our mind is so far in the future that we're looking at things and we can't even appreciate where we are right now. Like, we can't appreciate where we are right now. And I was just sitting there like, yo, like, you ever had that moment when something pop in your head, you open your eyes and you look at yourself like, yo, like, that was me that day. And I was like, wow, in order to slow down time, you need to practice being present. And I've probably heard that somewhere before and repeating it, maybe in a different way, but I truly understand it now because in that moment, that first 30 minutes of my break flew. When I was on social media, I was on IG, I was scrolling, I was looking at videos. And then I was just like, I'm not even spending time with myself on my lunch break, preparing for the second half of the day, like giving myself a wine dine time. I'm jumping straight into another life. And I was like, that's so crazy that if we practice more being present and controlling the right now, we could wait 5 minutes and that's the future. If I can control right now, like right now, I'm sitting here and I'm recording this podcast for you. There's no social media. There's no phone next to me. It's all in the other room. And I'm right here focused recording this podcast. I have no distractions. There's nothing around me. There's no distractions. And if we limit our distractions, we will buy ourselves more time. It's crazy that the way technology speeds things up. I'm not saying that you need to get rid of all technology, but I am starting to realize that it is time consuming and it is a distraction more than sometimes being helpful, depending on how you use technology. It could be more a detriment based on how you use it. I'm not saying technology is bad either. Shoot, technology is technology. It's amazing. But it's like for yourself and to be able to have control over what you got going on, you have to mentally say, okay, let me restrict myself. Or you need to mentally tap in and be present. Be like, oh, I've been on my phone a little bit too much today. Let me get out of my phone and focus on this. Or let me get out my phone and just chill in the crib, chill with myself, chill with my partner, with my friend, whoever. Put the phone down. Because even at like dinner, and I feel like I might be turning into my mom or my parents or something like that, because I really be looking at people and they be in their phones, neck hunched over, and I be like, these people gonna be hunchbacks when they get older. Like, bring the phone up to you. I will never forget, I was in Home Goods and I was walking around and it was this younger girl and she was in her phone and her neck was bent down. Like, in her phone. She was not paying attention to her surroundings or anything. Just sitting there in her phone. And I just looked like, dang, girl. Like, at least look up, look around, pay attention to your surroundings so that you know what's going on right now. a lot of that is a whole nother topic for a whole nother podcast. But it's like, be present and know what's going on right now. Social media will be there tomorrow. The stuff that was posted yesterday, you can see tomorrow. You can see it. You don't have to see it right now. You know, like half that stuff is not even posted in real time because people post what they want you to see. A lot of people don't post in real time. A lot of people post later. So it's like, at the end of the day, why do you need to see it when it's posted today? But anyway, focus on the 24 hours at hand that you can control. You can't take back the things you did yesterday. You can't do much about tomorrow. You can prepare for tomorrow and you can have positive thoughts and hopes about tomorrow, but you won't know what tomorrow brings until you're in tomorrow, which then turns into today when you get to tomorrow. My bad. But it's the truth. Like, control your 24 hours. And as I said in the last episode, if you mess up today, you got tomorrow to look forward to. Tomorrow's a whole new day. And it's just like, we can plan for tomorrow, but we won't know how it goes until we get there. Because even like today, if you have a bad day today and it messes up your whole day, and it's like, okay, tomorrow can be better. It's all how you set the tone. And it's one of those where it's like, do whatever you need to do to make sure that tomorrow is better if you're having a bad day today. Because you only can control today and you can set the tone for tomorrow. Like for me, like when I'm going through things, like I try to listen to some music or do things that I like or do things that I'm happy with. Like, look, don't get me started on Beyonce's Renaissance album. I probably have never listened to a Beyonce album as much as I listen to Renaissance. And that's just because, to me, it gets me pumped. It makes me feel some type of way. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm that girl. Point blank, period. I ain't even going front. Like, it doesn't. Nowadays, people are becoming more aware of mental health. People are becoming more aware of their resources that they have now, and it's no longer like frowned upon to get therapy or looked at weird to get therapy. And it's like, talk to somebody, because we all can use community. We definitely can use community to have someone that's going through the same things that we're going through and be able to relate to them, be able to find a community. And when I say community, it doesn't have to be like 50 people. It could be just one person that you relate to. It could be 2 people. It's one of those that find someone that supports you and encourages you to go through what you're going through, feel it, but also keep pushing forward. You don't want people that want you to stay in that miserable or be down all the time. You want people that support you, but then that also pushes you to stretch yourself and grow so that you can be better. But we won't know those people unless we start talking about things. And that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast, to have more of those conversations and to find that community and to maybe help people find that community within this podcast. I say all of that to say, take things as they come, and whatever happens. You can only control it once it's at your front door. That's all you can do. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you walked away with some valuable information. Make sure to follow the podcast on IG at And That's Okay Podcast. You can connect with me directly on there. Looking forward to the next episode. Remember to spread love, kindness, and make the choices that bring you peace.